Hello everyone, welcome to our webinar. Today's objective is to get a hands-on walkthrough on how to improve IT visibility with intelligent visual analytics. Thank you very much for joining. I am Karthikeyan Gunasilan from the product management team and I'm going to be your host for this webinar. Before we begin, here are a few housekeeping notes. By default, all attendees will be on listen-only mode. If you have any questions during the webinar, feel free to type them in the chat section or drop them in the Q&A panel on the left side of your screen. I'll try my best to get to them towards the end of the session. In case we run short on time, I'll respond to your questions later via email. You're also welcome to email me your questions directly using the address shown on your screen. With that out of the way, let's get started with the webinar. I'm really excited to walk you through some of the powerful new capabilities we've introduced in Managing Analytics Plus 6.0, all aimed at one key goal, helping you improve IT visibility through smarter and more intuitive analytics. Here's what we have lined up for today's session. First, we'll dive into the six new visualization options. This isn't just about pretty charts. It's also about knowing which chart to use, when, and why, so that you can tell better stories with your ID data. I'll walk you through some real world applications where these new visuals can actually make a difference. After that, we'll take a look at our dashboard enhancements. These are all about helping you and your teams consume insights faster with better layout controls, interactivity, and presentation options. Along the way, we'll also take a look at Zia suggestions. Zia, which is our inbuilt AI assistant, now also offers intelligent chart recommendations based on the fields you wish to use in the report. It analyzes your context and suggests alternate views that might offer new perspectives or deeper insights. It's a simple way to supercharge your data exploration without any extra effort. And finally, we'll wrap up with the Q&A session where I'll answer as many of your questions as time permits. Without further delay, let's jump right in. The first visualization we're going to be looking at is the workflow chart, also known as the Sankey chart. If you're dealing with multi-step processes in your IT operations, this chart is a game changer. Sankey charts are designed to visualize the flow of data, tasks, or users across different stages, while also representing volume or magnitude of that flow. It lets you instantly spot bottlenecks, drop-offs, or abnormally high volumes at specific stages. This makes it a powerful tool for identifying inefficiencies or potential areas of concern. In a typical ITSM environment, a ticket or an incident moves through various stages from creation to resolution. While the process may seem linear, there can be unexpected anomalies or bottlenecks along the way that impact your service SLAs and may lead to service disruptions and dissatisfied customers. Spotting these issues early on can save valuable time and resources, ensuring smoother operations and faster resolution. Let us now build a Sankey chart in Manage Engine Analytics Plus that can help you visualize the flow of incidents through each stage, making it easier to identify any deviations or delays that could potentially affect service performance. For this, we'll be using the status history table that comes from Service Desk Plus integration in Analytics Plus. Let's click on the plus icon here and select New Chart View. To create a Sankey chart, we need just three inputs. A source node, which is the starting point of the flow, a terminal node, which is the destination, and a quantifier to measure the volume of flow between the two. In this case, the status field will act as our source node, the next status field will be the terminal node, and the number of requests moving from one status to another will serve as the quantifier. Once we have this in place, we simply head over to chart types and select Sankey chart. That's it. Within just a few clicks, we have turned our raw status history into a clear visual flow of the request lifecycle. This kind of visualization is incredibly powerful. It not only shows how requests are progressing, but also helps surface patterns and anomalies. For instance, in this chart, we can immediately spot reopened requests where tickets move from resolve back to open, and some unusual transitions like moving directly from on hold to resolve, skipping the typical steps. These are exactly the kind of insights that get lost in traditional tabular reports but stand out clearly within a Sankey chart. So, where else can this be useful in IT? Quite a few places actually. In change management, you can visualize how changes move through various stages like review, implementation, testing, closure, etc. For user access requests, you can show how requests are routed across different approval levels. In network security, you can analyze how traffic or access attempts flow across zones or device types, or even in patch management, where you track machines moving from pending to installed to fail states, etc. So, if you're managing a service desk and want to quickly understand process gaps or exceptions in how tickets are handled, the Sankey chart is a great way to bring that visibility to the front and center. It's visual, contextual, and most importantly, it's actionable. Now, before we wrap up this visualization, I want to point out something subtle but really useful. If you look at the top right hand corner of the screen, you will notice ZIA suggestions panel. This is part of Analytics Plus built-in intelligence and it comes in handy, especially when you're not sure what kind of chart to use. Here's how it works. As soon as you drag and drop your required columns into the designer shelf, ZIA automatically analyzes the structure and the type of data and offers a curated set of visualization suggestions that make the most sense for your data set. You can preview each suggestion instantly, and if something looks good, just hit apply to generate the report. It's quick, intuitive way to experiment different visuals and discover patterns you might have otherwise missed. And just below the preview, you'll also find the exact steps need to recreate the visualization manually if needed. Let's move on to another powerful visualization introduced in Analytics 6.0, the Sunburst chart. Sunburst charts are designed to represent hierarchical data through a series of concentric circles. They are ideal when you want to visualize the nested relationships within your dataset in a clear and compact format. Take a look at this example. We're breaking down the volume of alarms generated in an IT environment. The innermost circle or the root node represents the severity of the alarm: critical, trouble, warning. The next ring shows the age of the alarm. So you can see here greater than 48 hours, 24 to 48 hours, 12 to 24 hours, 2 to 12 hours, etc. And the outermost ring shows the category of the device. As you can see here, 17.3% of this particular data has come from the device category firewall. The next is router, and so on and so forth. What makes this chart really effective is that the size of each arc is proportional to the number of alarms in the segment. So, in one glance, we can identify things like which severity levels are most common, their common age, and which device categories are triggering the most alerts. This kind of multi level breakdown helps you isolate problem areas and prioritize actions more effectively. And this isn't just limited to alarms. Sunburst charts can be applied to a wide range of ID scenarios, such as ticket analysis, where you can break down requests by priority, department, category, etc., or asset lifecycle tracking, where you can visualize by site, asset type, or even software compliance with business unit, software type, and license status. In each case, the goal is the same: to explore complex data hierarchies without getting lost in spreadsheets. So, the next time you are faced with a multi-dimensional data set, think about using the Sunburst chart. It's intuitive, insightful, and incredibly useful for IT teams who need to make fast data driven decisions. Now let's talk about tree map chart, which is another intuitive visual we have added in Analytics Plus 6.0. A tree map chart is composed of differently sized rectangles which provide an idea of the proportion of impact for various segments. Each rectangle represents a category and its size is proportional to the value it holds, making it ideal for visualizing part to whole relationships. Let us take a look at this example. This tree map chart categorizes active alarm volume by device category, and with just a quick glance, we're able to instantly identify which device categories are triggering the highest volume of alarms right now. Larger blocks represent higher volumes, and that visual cue alone is enough to help teams prioritize response efforts without digging through rows of numbers. And we can just adjust the slider on the right to filter through the data, making it more interactive and insightful. Tree maps can also be used across other areas of IT. In incident management, you can use it to break down ticket volume by site or priority or category, etc. For software audits, you can use this map to visualize license consumption by business units or application groups. In inventory management and IT budgeting, you can use this to check cost trends across asset categories, or even in service desk analysis to review pending requests by department, request mode, etc. In all these cases, tree maps helps you cut through complexity and focus on what matters most. So, if you're looking for a way to quickly surface dominant categories in your data and understand their share in the bigger picture, tree map charts offer one of the fastest and most effective ways to do that. Up next, let's look at conversion bar charts. Conversion bar charts are perfect for visualizing drop offs or progresses across stages in a process. Each stage is represented by a bar, and as you move from one stage to the next, you'll notice a step down pattern or a staircase effect that visually represents the drop off or retention rate between stages. This makes conversion charts an excellent choice for identifying where bottlenecks, delays, or losses are occurring in any linear workflow. Let's take a look at the example you see here on screen. This chart shows conversion across the stages of asset procurement lifecycle, starting from received through approved, procurement initiated, awaiting procurement, procurement completed, and delivered to user. You can clearly see how many requests make it through each phase. What this chart instantly highlights is where requests are getting held up and how much attrition is happening from stage to stage. This information is essential for any IT asset manager trying to optimize procurement workflows. This set of data can also be represented into a funnel. To change to this funnel, simply go into the chart types and select funnel. We can draw similar inferences from both chart types in this case, so you can choose according to your preference. Conversion charts can be applied across many IT processes. You can use it in user onboarding tracking from account creation to device provisioning, policy assignment, and training completion. And in patch management from devices identified, patches approved, and deployment started till devices patched. In all these workflows, the conversion charts acts like a funnel with context. It will clearly show where things are working and where they're not. So if you're managing any multi-stage IT process, a conversion bar chart can give you the clarity and control you need to improve throughput and eliminate delays. Now let's switch gears quite literally and look at one of the most dynamic and visually engaging additions in Analytics Plus 6.0, the racing chart. Racing charts are animated visualizations that are best suited for showing how data changes over time. They don't just plot values, they highlight progression, fluctuations, and rank shifts in a visually immersive way. These charts immediately grab the viewer's attention and help you tell a compelling story around how performance or volume has evolved across a timeline. Let's take a look at the racing chart on your screen. In this example, we have ranked our technicians based on various KPIs such as resolution time, tickets volume handled, SLA adherence, and more across the last few quarters. We then arrived at an overall performance rank, which is visualized here in motion. If you click on the play button, you can see the racing chart in action. What's great about this chart is that it allows you to see the rise and fall in rankings, spot consistently top performing technicians, and detect any sudden drops that may need a closer look. It's far more engaging way to evaluate performance trends than a static table or even a regular bar chart. You can use racing charts in several areas of IT and business. You can see which devices consistently trigger the most alerts. You can track which issue types are rising and declining over month, view how usage rankings change across departments over time. These charts are especially useful for MSPs or shared service environments. And you can also rank teams or groups by ticket closures, asset handling, or workload over time, just like we see now. Anywhere you want to highlight ranking, pace, or shifting dominance, racing charts help you do that with style and clarity. So, if you want to make performance trends come alive or create a visually memorable way to highlight how things have evolved over time, racing charts are the perfect fit. As time passes, traditions evolve in order to adapt to the needs of newer generations. In the world of analytics, one of the most traditional and widely respected visualization format is the pivot chart. Despite the rise of flashy modern visualizations, the pivot chart has stood the test of time because of one key strength. It provides a simple yet holistic view of your data and works beautifully across a wide range of applications. With Analytics Plus 6.0, we have taken this legacy chart format and given it a modern twist by introducing sparklines. Sparklines are tiny incel trend visuals in the form of simple lines or bars that let you capture trends and variations in data without taking up much space. They complement your data by adding visual cues that make interpretation faster and easier. Let's look at the example here on screen. This pivot chart displays CPU, memory, and disk utilization metrics for various servers over the past few months. At the end of each row, we have added a sparkline showing the trend of that particular metric over time. So now, in addition to seeing the raw monthly numbers, we instantly understand which servers are stable, where there is erratic fluctuation, and where things may be trending towards a resource bottleneck. The visual context is immediate and far more impactful than a table of static values. So, with this small but powerful addition, pivot charts have become even more insightful. You get the compact structure of traditional pivot combined with the trend awareness of a time series chart all in one view. These changes reflect what Analytics Plus is all about, respecting legacy tools while enhancing them to meet today's needs. Now that we've seen how sparklines enhance traditional pivot tables, let's talk about where else you can apply them. The possibilities here are honestly endless. In IT operations, you can use this to monitor network performance metrics. For example, tracking latency or bandwidth fluctuations across your routers and switches. In service management, it's great for measuring technician or support group performance. You can also use it to track ticket volume trends by department or site, or even SLA breach patterns over time. In the asset management front, you can visualize software usage trends across different teams on how asset allocation has shifted quarter by quarter. And finally, for your executive dashboards, Sparklines are a fantastic way to track things like license consumption, operational costs, or even customer support trends if you are in managed service setup. In all these cases, the real value lies in combining numbers with subtle visual context, giving you clarity without clutter. We have also upgraded the traditional map charts to support multiple stacked layers, allowing you to overlay up to 5 different KPIs on the same geographical map. This means you can now compare and contrast multiple datasets within the same geo context without needing to toggle between different reports. It enhances visual representation, strengthens contextual understanding, and gives users more interactive ways to explore the data all within a single unified view. Let's take this example on screen. What you're seeing here is a map chart with stacked layers showing active alarms along with the types of alarms across continents and countries. The first layer segments continents based on their average alarm duration. You will immediately notice the differences in alarm resolution times across regions, helping you quickly understand where response times are higher or lower. The second layer zooms in to show the number of critical and warning alarms that are currently active in each country. This lets you to quickly compare the different volume and severity of alarms across nations, all within the same map. So, with just one glance, you get a bird's eye view of your IT operations globally, helping you identify hotspots, compare alarm times by region, and prioritize responses more effectively. There are plenty of other scenarios where map layers can be incredibly useful. For example, in IT management, you could plot total assets, warranty expired assets, and unused assets side by side across sites. For service desk insights, you can show ticket volume, resolution time, and first response time by region. In compliance monitoring, you can visualize patch coverage, policy violations, and vulnerability count by geographical locations. Or in network monitoring, map device availability, latency, and traffic load across your data centers or branch offices. These layered views help you drill through the complexity of IT operations and offer a much more holistic picture, often uncovering insights that would be missed in siloed charts. So, whether you're managing operations at a regional, national, or even a global scale, layered maps gives you a powerful new way to bring multiple KPIs into one single consolidated visual, enhancing both visibility and decision making. With that, we wrap up our walkthrough on the new visualizations and enhancements as part of Analytics Plus 6.0 upgrade. Let's now take a look at some of the dashboard enhancements aimed at helping you tell better data stories and deliver more context rich insights. When you click on Edit Design in a dashboard or while creating a dashboard, you will notice the new Elements tab on the left pane. Under this section, you will find several new options to make your dashboards more informative and engaging. You can now add titles and paragraphs directly into your dashboard. This helps you bring in a textual narrative alongside your visuals to give detailed explanations, list suggested actions, or even just add quick contextual comment. You can also add images to make dashboards more visual. Think logos, process diagrams, or illustrative icons. The embed option lets you insert external URLs, whether it's a YouTube walkthrough or your internal documentation, or even SOP links, all embedded within the same dashboard. Another much requested enhancement is the ability to apply user filters across multiple tabs. So if you're working with a multi-tab dashboard, you no longer have to apply the same filter repeatedly. Just check the make filters global option and that filter will instantly apply across entire dashboard, keeping everything in sync. There's also a few smaller but incredibly useful upgrades. You can now select and copy widgets and reports across dashboards or even between different dashboards within the same workspace. Just select the widgets and reports and copy using Command C or Control C, and you can paste it wherever you need it. You can also now add icons or images directly to individual widgets. Just click edit, go to settings, and you can upload any image or icon as per your requirements. You can customize the size, position, alignment to match your design style. As you can see, these dashboard enhancements may seem subtle, but they go a long way in helping you create dashboards that are not just insightful, but also engaging, contextual, and easier to navigate. Every improvement is designed to make your dashboards more dynamic and user friendly. And with that, we have covered the key new additions in Analytics Plus 6.2. Let's take a moment to quickly recap everything we have explored today. We introduced a range of new visualizations, including Sankey, Sunburst, Conversion, Tree Map, and Racing Charts, all built to uncover deeper patterns in your IT data. We have explored how Zia suggestions help you choose the right chart for your data. We then looked at enhancements to traditional pivots with the introduction of sparklines. Then we saw how layered maps can combine multiple KPIs into a single geo view. And finally, we wrapped up with dashboard upgrades that make building and sharing insights easier than ever. With Analytics Plus 6.0, the goal has been to help you go from data to decisions faster with more context, more flexibility, and more intelligence baked into every step of the reporting experience. And with that, we have come to the end of not just today's session, but also the entire Mastering Analytics Plus 6.0 webinar series. Across this series, we have shown you how Analytics Plus 6.0 empowers IT teams to make faster, smarter decisions by combining powerful integrations and intelligent visualizations with AI powered analysis and no code machine learning, thus making Managed Engine Analytics Plus a truly unified data analytics platform. The recordings of these sessions will be available in our website. Together, these sessions reflect our vision for Analytics Plus, a solution that's built not just to analyze data, but also to empower IT teams to act on it, learn from it, and lead with it. Do check out the URL on the screen to get your 15-day trial of Analytics Plus. So, if you have any concerns, feel free to reach out to me on this email. Thank you for being with us so far. Wishing you all a very great day.